What was that? John wanted that one? John's a good guy, so he'd have whatever chair he wants. Hey, just, quickly, just the best, and, we'll pray for, for Brett Rumpel. Hope that injury isn't real bad for him. He's a hard-playing guy and, really, really good player, and a hard-playing guy, and he plays the game the right way, so, we'll keep him in our thoughts and hope that he's able to, recover from whatever happened there. It was great having John. I think, wanting to, schedule John and his teams, it's always a challenge. He's a tremendous coach. His teams play with incredible energy and competitiveness. And he did so much for Connecticut basketball in the state, and put the University of Hartford on the map. Hartford University, or is it University of Hartford? Okay. Put that school on the map with what he did with that program, and then obviously where it went from there was really sad. So it was great to have him back in the building, and with the program that he's going to elevate to a championship level, I think sooner rather than later.
So you want to schedule regularly in the future?
No, I would like not to play, his teams too often. They play really hard, they're well prepared, and they play with a lot of energy. So you try to avoid teams like that in these types of games.
We talked earlier this week, maybe one minor concern was shooting, and I think you had a season high for field goal percentage today. How's that coming along? You think you're shooting?
Yeah, I mean, we would have even shot better. I mean, the last 7 minutes, I think human nature set in, and particularly the last 5 minutes, we missed a lot, and it really hurt our numbers. Overall, I think that we should have shot in the 60s from the field. It should have been a 25, 26 assist game. I liked. I think the shooting numbers from three will. In the end, I think we've got three guys that are eventually going to be 40% three-point shooters, and I think Solo's going to. Once he really starts to get comfortable out there, I think he's going to be. Even though his numbers are kind of taking a hit right now, I think if, from December on, he may be a guy that's shooting pretty high too. So I like the shooting. I like Donovan get more touches today in the post. He's a work in progress. That way, as a guy we throw the ball in the post to and trying to score one-on-one. But we want to start trying to have that inside game, not just as a ball screen roll guy, but as somebody we could throw it in that eventually will command double teams.
Yeah, Tristan's one of your leaders, but obviously nationally he's not the first name that comes to mind when the Huskies. Here he is today with another triple-double when he did the national championship game. Can you just talk about what he's meant to this team and what he means to this program?
Yeah, I mean, Tristan never. He never. A lot of our players don't get the credit because our culture is so unselfish, and these guys are so about winning. And they're not, huge on social media. Just making it all about themselves, and I don't. It's. I mean, if the college basketball, the national college basketball experts. Don't begin to include him in the conversations as, one of the better guards in the country, one of the better college guards, just with everything he's done. He's won a national championship. He's had multiple triple-doubles. All he's done is win. I mean, what's his record since he's been here? No, I'm done, I think.
The 23 straight non-conference double figures. Obviously, you beat several, high major opponents along the way, but just to not slip up and even have really a close game against these sort of low majors, how impressive is that? Because you see upsets all the time or close games between low and highs.
Yeah.
Is that just as impressive as almost as being able to beat the high majors all?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it tells the story of what our program's all about, and the type of people that we pursue in recruiting, that you can still, with everything that goes on in basketball, everything that's, that's modeled, unfortunately, sometimes at the NBA level. Sometimes guys being uncoachable, not playing both ends of the court. Everything in college, the portal, the NIL, all this stuff, like that there still are old school families out there and kids that are old souls that, are about winning and allow us to coach them and are always ready to play. There's so many things involved in how dominant we've been in non-conference, having Luke Murray and Kamani Young, two of the best coaches in the country that do an incredible job with the preparation. Having NBA level players that are all about winning and don't care if it's them on any night, right? It's just about UConn basketball.
Have they invested in this record? Is it something that's talked about? Or?
None of us knew. We tried internally to get a sense of where, it felt like it's something that was hard to do. But internally, we couldn't figure out where we stood relative to it. And, Borzello told us after the last game, and we had no idea, but it felt like it was pretty special, the run we've been on.
How do you think the freshmen are kind of growing now? They're, 6 games into their careers, and how do you think they're kind of growing?
I think Solo, just from a defensive standpoint, so much better. And his comfortability, I thought he was the hero in New York. I mean, Samson, Hassan, a lot of people, Tristan MVP, Alex was a monster. I thought Solo was the kind of quiet hero for us, to be able to give us the minutes that he gave us, how solid he was, and big 7 points in the first half versus Texas. So I think he's in a great spot. I think Stewie's starting to figure it out. I think he's getting better every day, and I think all of our young players. Alex Caraban's going to be a much different player in February and March. Donovan Klingen's going to be, again, Jordan Hawkins in November, December, he flashed. But by the time these guys get to the end of their freshman year, end of their sophomore year, these guys are going to be much better players. That's why I think we're a really good team right now, but I think we have great upside. I think we're going to get a lot better.
Dan, after the Texas game Monday night, Alex was talking about how if Hassan didn't step up, you guys wouldn't have won that game. He goes for 11 points again today off the bench. What have you seen from him accepting this role and thriving?
Yeah, I mean, he was, when you go to most important players on this year's roster, in terms of being able to excel in his role, to have a veteran guard. You can't do this without a veteran guard off the bench. You can't be a top team. You can't compete for big things. You can't have a really good season without having a veteran guard that will come in off the bench and either stabilize or raise your level, who could be a pest defensively, who could get paint and create. And then he's made some technical changes with his shot, and I think from here on out, I think you're going to see a more confident shooter. I thought the way he's shooting free throws and that 3 today, I thought was big for him.
Dan, you probably envisioned nights like this from Tristan when you first recruited him. Now that he's pretty much joined the ranks of the good Husky guards, how much further do you think he has to go?
Yeah, listen, Tristan Newton playing all Big East level. That's how you stay, at the top of the sport in terms of having a chance to have an elite season. He's a big guard. I think he's the best rebounding guard in the country. He's a well-rounded guard offensively. He can make threes. He can drive the ball. He's a tremendous passer. He's got a resume, a true resume of where sports, we used to value winning. We used to value championships over just the raw numbers. Unfortunately, in basketball, especially at the NBA level, it's all about numbers. What numbers did this guy get? Sports used to be about the champions. We used to celebrate the champions more. And now this is a champion that is averaging, 18 a game, triple doubles. He should be talked about as one of the best guards in the country. But, people that don't watch the games, that just watch TikTok highlights, are the ones judging. They don't know shit.
You mentioned Donovan's post touches. You got a bunch early, and he had 8 quick points. How much of a focus was that to get him going right now?
Yeah, Donovan, just a foot. And, the thing with Donovan is that he broke he showed what he's all about. He showed what our people are all about in the program by like really pushing and rushing himself to get back for the opener. And I think, you know, he didn't get much time on the court before he got himself out there, but that's the type of man he is, and that's the type of men we have in the locker room. So, you know, he's rusty. We're watching him knock the rust off. And again, he's still a young player. What we're seeing from Donovan Klinging right now, compared to what we're going to see in February and March, is going to be that development that you saw with some guys last year.
Dan, how much did you know about Manhattan, Seydou Traore, coming into this game as a low major freshman, and what were your takeaways from his performance?
He's been tremendous. I mean, he's really been just a guy that makes tough shots, great size. John's a heck of a recruiter to end up getting that guy in the program, and he's going to have just an awesome career there, and I think John uses him in a really, really smart way.
Do you have an assistant, like, keeping you abreast of Tristan's stats and when he's one rebound away, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. And I've bought in. I just yelled at him, "You better get a rebound soon." And I think he heard me because he did nod at me. Because I couldn't leave him out there. That would have been a bad look, just to get the rebound. But he had to get that rebound within the confines of when he should have come out of that game. Like, I couldn't have left him in there to the 2-minute mark. So he got it at a perfect time, and I was able to get him out. But I did yell at him, "They better get a rebound."
Yeah, can you talk about the leadership? There's wondering going into the season who's going to step up for these guys. But I would think you and the staff have to be happy watching guys out there, Cam, Alex working with the other guys, Tristan talking. It seems like the leadership role has kind of like rolled nicely into a new group of guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this whole organization, we're all about culture, you know, and it starts in the recruiting process with the type of people that we want in here and what they stand for. And obviously, you got to have the talent, some of those prerequisites to take the court for a program like this. But, you know, we get good guys. I mean, everyone loves our guys. You know, the people that interact with our guys, you know, whether it's you guys or, you know, or the fans or when we travel, you know, we got classy guys. You know, we got guys that are gym rats. They're about the work. They're about winning. You see our bench during a game, and, you know, guys that desperately want on the court are celebrating the success of people that are keeping them off the court. You know, we got as good a culture as anyone could have, I think, in college basketball, and we've been building that since we got here, and now we also have the high-level talent. You know, and then again, I'm lucky to have Tom and Luke and Kamani, and obviously you also have Paul Wetterman back there, who's a hell of a self-promoter too, mostly with Rothstein.
Coach, what's been the most encouraging thing about Donovan's approach post-injury in these type of games?
I mean, he's on preseason All-American teams. He's a potential lottery pick, and he could care less what his numbers look like after games. I don't ever feel a sense of, like, you know, him not being happy with how he's being used or how the season's been going for him to this point. He loves Connecticut. He loves UConn. You know, he understands that. You know, he understands that shit doesn't matter. You know, this is about us winning, and he's the ultimate team guy. I mean, that's what he's telling people. I mean, you know, he's telling the media, right? He's telling the ESPN people. I mean, I've shut him down now with the media, and Bobby, I think, has got to get a grip on that situation. That's Bobby's first real controversy for him replacing Phil. So, you know, listen, great athletes. You hope, you know, we are not rushing him back. You know, we're playing the long game here. We know what we have here potentially with the group. A game in December is not going to make or break our season. This is about being at our absolute best in February and March. But, you know, great athletes tend to recover from something like what Steph's dealing with pretty quickly.
And obviously Ray had come around the team a few times last year, but how important is it for guys like him to come back for this program?
Yeah, it's it's great to have, I think, everything with Kevin, behind us, and I think a lot of healing's gone on, since the Kevin's situation is behind the university, and then just the volume to have Charlie, Villanueva through, to have a Mecca around as much as we've had a Mecca and Kemba and Shabazz and Ray and Rip, who is really like behind the scenes, and to get a text from Jake Voskuhl on Thanksgiving, who's like low key one of my favorite guys that played here. That guy was a big tough Texan. We're starting to win and play at a high level, which helps the healing, and the Kevin stuff behind us. It helps with the healing. That's important to have the legends around.
Thanks, guys.
We good? Thank you.
Thank you.